Anyway,
Yeah,
hey, how you all going? It's Jai, that Aussie metal guy here tonight. And tonight, wherever the bloody hell you are, Jai, that Aussie metal guy here with crank.com. And with that metal station today, I'm getting to have a chat with Johnny Pav from Riot After Midnight, who I've just recently come across these guys. Their debut album was dropped first of the first 21 through Electric Circus Records. It's the self-titled debut album, but it's an absolute ripper. By no means this is your first forte into the music scene, that's for sure, man. Cheers for joining me. And as we have Fouldzy join in there as well, let's see if he has any issues with Zoom as well.
come on, mate. Come on, Fouldzy. Do it for us, son.
Yeah, good day, man. It's a good day for it. This album, I've finished work tonight and jumped straight into it. It's an absolutely ripping album. It's one I'm really glad that Carly Jules sent over and said, you need to check out Right After Midnight, and checked it out, and it was really bloody cool. Hey, Fouldzy, how you going? Pleased to meet you, mate.
Always.
That Aussie metal guy.
How are you,
here.
mate?
Yeah, good, man.
Hey.
Yeah,
How
good,
are ya?
dude. Yeah, good, man.
That's the way.
We've already done a little bit of an intro for you all. So we're also
Beautiful.
going to play this on the radio. So did you want to introduce yourself, Pav?
Yeah, no worries, mate. So I'm Johnny. I play the electric guitar in the band, and yeah, just try to get some things going musically. And Fouldzy,
Yeah, mate, I'm Fouldzy, and I sing for the lads now. Done a few things in the band over the years and couldn't do much else, so they just made me sing and yell a bit.
They made you sing and yell. I like that, man. So I want to know, when did the band first start? Because from what had been sent over, and I read a little bit more about you and that, you've been around for a little while. Can you tell me a little bit about kind of how and when you guys first started?
yeah, okay. We started probably back in around about 2016, right? And we had a different setup. We had like we're all mates. Got together. We had another front man, Andy Licks, which he's a good mate of ours, but he left because he just had some other things going on that he needed to do, and so we just done this little switch around where Joel used to be on the bass, and then we found out he had a voice, so we put him on the vocals, mate, and he's killing it there. So we've got a different structure. So we just got, it's still a bit of a different structure, but still the same type of guys. So we're like a four-man footy club that we keep on calling ourselves.
So, yes, it's forming in 2016. It would be quite a change to the industry at the moment, and to be dropping the album would have been. How did that all go, man? Like from that all perspective.
So what do we do with the album? So obviously we were together probably since 2015, 2016, and we've had been doing demos for about 5 years, or however long it's been, 4 years, and we'd never actually released anything properly. We'd put a few shitty recordings out, a few demos, but never actually put anything out worth hanging our hat on. and then through lockdown, we were just like, we may as well get something going. There's not much else going on. So we kind of, me and Pav just sat down and pretty much just grabbed all different recordings we've had for the last 5 years, kind of tweaked them up a bit, and made them sound a bit more our style as we were getting on in the years. And so the album's just kind of a whole process of 5 years of writing songs. So even we were tempted to just scrap them all together and just start going with new tunes, but we thought, it'd be good to have a few of these tracks down just to show that we didn't just waste 5 years.
Yeah, and do you think, it's pretty shit the way it all happened with everyone being in lockdown, but I've spoken to a few artists. Do you think lockdown actually kind of helped you get this album out, kind of lit that fire under your fucking belly to go, look, we're all sitting at home now. Let's just really knuckle down and get stuck into this and lay out an album that we're proud of?
Oh, definitely. So what actually happened in those times, like, we still had a bit of leeway to still catch up with someone, a bit of a one-on-one, and it was good. We Fouldzy and myself, we just got together and we just kept on chipping away every week for a good 3 months, and in those 3 months we just kept on laying track after track down. Fouldzy obviously has got the engineering background and the recording background, so he knows what he's doing there. And we just got everything under control. And that, having what happened last year with our lockdowns and stuff really worked a treat, to be honest with you.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, and
Fouldzy,
it was kind of sorry to jump in there. It was kind of a way to like we'd put it out just pretty much hoping. So we're going to put this out at the start of 2001, and let's just put this out knowing 21, knowing that we're going to have a great 2021. Lockdowns are going to be over, and we thought for a while there we were, because the first start of the year we were actually pumping pretty well. We were playing gigs, we were doing video clips and stuff like that. But then obviously, yeah, later on now it's fallen to bits again.
yeah, well, what was it like to get back into it? You know what I mean? After having that, being that lockdown, and then dropping the album, and then being able to play those initial few gigs. Tell us about them and how that all went.
Well, it was really good just to get up there, and kind of for us, like we'd all obviously played for the last 5 years together all around Melbourne, but to have the change up. So then we brought one of our good mates in on the bass, McKen's. So it was his first show he's ever played. It was kind of like that old thing where we were thinking about who we should get on the bass, and we're like, do we go for talent, or we just go for one of our mates who can just hit the top string? And we just thought, here you go, mate, just learn a few of these songs and you're in. So and I'd never sung before, so I had to try to learn how to do that, and it's a different experience just trying to sing rather than play the bass up there, that's for sure.
Yeah, so how was that, getting your voice box already and getting used to that, the singing, because it does.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I'd prepared enough, I think, but you can never know when you're on stage. And then you like where the first show we played, we were like we had all our mates there. We were like throwing out bucket hats and like jumping into the crowd and stuff like that. So when you don't really rehearse for that kind of stuff, so halfway through the show, I was absolutely cooked.
But you would have already known all the words anyway, and so it would have been quite an easy progression. It's not like you wouldn't have been sitting there singing
exactly
anyway.
So exactly right. And a few of our mates who really kind of get around us, they knew a fair few of the big gang vocals. So if I forget them, they can jump in as well.
So what was the recording process like? Being in lockdown. Tell us a little bit about. We touched on it before, but tell us a little bit more how all that went and how you've kind of done it all.
Yeah, so we'd kind of taken just different parts of what we've done over the last few years in different studios and kind of pieced it together. Okay. So we'd always had drum takes and stuff from RJ, our drummer, and then at the end of the process, we got him back in just to really schmick things up on the drums, and then then we got McKen's to lay some stuff down as well. But there was a lot of the main structures were there and ready to go. We just wanted a song that we'd written 5 years ago, like Dirty Filthy Minded or Breakdown. We just wanted to keep it in the same vein, because they're pretty easy tunes that we wrote when we were a bit younger, but kind of just make them a bit more, after 5 years, you're a bit more like Johnny's a intermediate player back then, and more, he probably is now too. But as you get on 5 years, he had a few more tricks up his sleeve. So we could add those little fun parts in there just to make the album a bit more sexy.
Yeah, and that would have been good too, Pav, to come back and add those bits to these tracks as well, and lay this album down now, and kind of revisit them a little bit for prosperity's sake. Put this out in an album and kind of move on a little bit as well.
Well, that's it. So, the process was we had our COVID lockdown times, right, which gave you a lot of time to knuckle down and think with what else you can do with your music, right? So I harnessed as much as I could through didn't watch no TV, mate, just played tunes and listened to everything that everyone used to do. And then I just kept on getting that guitar out and kept on practicing with so many different bits and pieces. So I'm talking like Phrygian dominant scales, so more of an Arabic sort of feel, and harmonic minors and all that sort of stuff, and then putting them into solos and into riffs as well. And I was surprised with myself. I thought, shit, mate, you're actually doing okay. Hurry out. Yeah. So and we recorded this stuff, and the confidence was there. It grew between myself and Joel. And we started kicking a few goals there, We really got some decent riffs and tunes going.
Yeah, And then it would have been good to go in and do these film clips for these tunes as well. Like, if you go back through there, you got some killer film clips as well. It would have been good to come back and do these. Like, you've got the Riot After Midnight. The latest one though was Thrill Killer, man. That's a killer film clip as well. But you were just mentioning a breakdown. You got Flying in Time. You got a few up there, and then you had the in the studio videos as well, the behind the scenes little bits and pieces. So there's a whole lot of killer content up there. So it would have been fun for you guys to get in, I suppose, and make these film clips and all that other little content behind it.
Yeah, it's we think we've definitely learned through these lockdowns and in and out that when you do get the freedom, you just got to get stuff done, because there's a good chance you're heading back in. So we like to as soon as we get the ball rolling, we're like, all right, let's hit some videos, stockpile them up for a few months, because there's a good chance we're gonna fall down again. So yeah, so at the height of it, when we got released, it's always hard because we've got these big video ideas. We've got this song on the album called Take Me to the Top, where we still want to do this big thing where we get this big penthouse and stuff like that, get heaps of people in this penthouse. But obviously, you almost get there with restrictions. They say, all right, you're allowed to have 50 people in a house, 100 people in a house, and then it falls down again. So we're trying to slip everything in between the dramas.
Yeah, everything's really fallen off a cliff at the moment, hasn't it? It's been really full on, and my heart goes out to a lot of bands in the music industry at the moment. You know what I mean? We're all going through a bloody tough trot at the moment, but especially so the musicians and the arts sector as well.
Yeah, it's big. It's big.
Well, everyone wants to just wants to have a decent crack, but you just can't. You know, you just can't. That's it. We're just stopped, mate. You know what I mean? This train isn't going anywhere yet. So we got to just wait and see. But in the meantime, if you've got the equipment and you can utilize your mates over Zooms and stuff like that, you can still write music, you can still get things together, and you can still go back and forth and still create something like another album or more singles or whatever you want to do. You know, it doesn't have to stand still.
Yeah, well, you probably notice it, like back in 2016, even compared to like that short period to now, there's been change in the music industry that, as you said, you can do stuff from home and over these Zooms, that the bands are able to drop these albums out and kind of work that part, the social media side of things. I know it sucks, but it does have its positives as well. To kind of get extra ears onto your band, and you know, even like reaching out to people like, you know, myself or even other people all over the world, and you chatting to, like the other day I was chatting to a guy from Poland, and you know, it's able to get your band out to a wider audience. And even the way you've done it with the YouTube videos and that, you got to think of different ways to approach listeners and kind of get them on board for the journey for the music as well. So you're right, you've got to use your time wisely, but there's also a lot of changes as well up from then into now, eh?
No, that's spot on. Like, I think a lot of people listen with their eyes these days. So you got to have it out there, because there's a lot out there. So you have to, you know, get through it all. So if you've got something that stands out a bit as well, visually, it's always the way.
Yeah, and it's crazy, man, because the hard rock metal scene, man, is just absolutely unreal at the moment. In Australia, there's just so many amazing bands, dude. It's really, really bloody unreal. And I'm right in the scene, man, and I keep missing stuff and come across bands, and I'm like, where the fuck have I been? Because I come across you guys when Carly sent it over, and I'm like, how the fuck have I haven't heard of these guys? These guys are catchy as hell, killer fucking riffs, great bloody sounds, you know what I mean? So when I hear shit like people go, oh, rock or metal's dead, it's like, dude, get your head out of your ass, man. Especially now in the scene, it's just crazy.
Yeah, that's it. But there's so much out there, and even with us, Jai, like we're getting followers which follow us on Instagram and stuff like that, and we're like, geez, we've never heard of this band. But then when you go through their stuff, you go, mate, these guys have been posting like for about 5 years now, like, and then you find out that they're internationally renowned. They're guys that have just got so much stuff going. They've got 3 awesome albums, and then you think, wow, you know, and you're buying their merch. So like we've been buying people's merch as well and supporting them, you know, helping them out and stuff. But yeah, there's so many bands out there, mate. So many, especially here in Australia.
Speaking of merch, where's the best place people can get over and get some merch from you guys from Riot After Midnight and support what you got going on? Buy some buy some merch and buy some albums.
Yeah. Well, what do we got? We got we had a little thing up for a while where we selling bucket hats, but then we pulled those off and just started throwing them out at shows and giving them away. So I think we pulled down all our merch and threw it out at the last few shows. So I don't think we're actually all we've got really now is a Bandcamp. You can buy, get the album on that. Old Bandcamp.
Bandcamp. I love Bandcamp. I'm always going on about Bandcamp because
Bandcamp, yeah, you need that. So Bandcamp's really good for artists.
It is good for artists, you know what I mean? Even for people that like digitals, I know what Spotify is there for. It does get you extra listeners, but if you want to go buy the album, you can head over to places like Bandcamp, even to buy it digitally, because it works really well for me for radio as well. And I know that out of all the ones out there, I know I'm supporting the band doing that a lot more than any of the others. And I have a lot sent over for me for media, but I still go over and buy that much music through Bandcamp because I know that it's going to the band and supporting the cause. You can buy your merch from there as well. And it is really one of the better ones out there.
Yeah, they've set that up well, Bandcamp. It's it's all for the artist, that one. That's grass.
Yeah, and you even get a couple of listens for free as well. And then it goes, do you want to buy the album now? Do you think you can support the band?
It's just one of those, like we've got, what was the band? There's a band here in Melbourne, Mystery. Don't know if you heard of Mystery, but old Rocky, he's got a new album coming out. And we've been pumping a few of their latest singles. So I think sometimes what I like to do personally, or I know Pav and stuff does too, if you listen to something enough times on Spotify, just like Shotgun Mistress and stuff like that, you kind of like, all right, I've listened to the album about 3-4 times on Spotify. It's pretty grouse. I'm going to keep listening to it. You may as well, fork out the $7 or whatever and get a copy or get some iTunes downloads or something like that just to help them out because, you're going to keep listening to it. You may as well help them out a bit.
Yeah, well, every bit helps the music industry at the moment, especially with everything that's going on. That's for bloody sure. So,
yeah, that's it. So,
But Jai, we will be having some merch, mate. But our merch is going to be different to everyone else's. Okay, it's not going to be black t-shirts and stuff like that. We're talking about bucket hats, footy shorts, stuff like that. All right.
Nice, dude. That'll be cool, man. I could go bucket hats and footy shorts, man. Nothing more bloody Aussie.
yeah. But we want to do something different, mate. Every band's got a T-shirt and stuff, and we might bring out the T-shirts later down the track. But we just want to have a little edge to what we do. It's us. That's what we do, mate. We wear ridiculous stuff. We look absolutely ridiculous most of the time, right? And we want ridiculous merch.
You look pretty ridiculous now, to be honest.
Just settle down, mate.
And it's about having fun too. You want to get along to these shows, and it's about a fun experience and a fun time. And hence.
Well, that's it. We always, we always go with the intention of selling merch when we have these shows, but then we end up going like, "Oh, can we bother be setting up a merch desk?" No, I'll just throw them out.
Just throw them out.
If they come to the front and start giving us a bit of a dance, we'll throw some merch at them.
Yeah, that's good too because it gets extra people going away and going, man, you got to check out Riot After Midnight. And they'll go back and tell plenty of their bloody mates after that happening as well.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
Okay, guys, I'm going to get you both. I'm going to get you to pick a track each from the album. Tell me why, and we'll go from there.
Hey, go first, mate.
There you go, mate. I want you to see what you got for me.
Who, me? All right. So you're going to be playing a track. Do you want a track specifically with the film, with the video clip to it?
I'm playing this on radio, man. So pick any track off the album and why.
Hey, mate, I want you out of the whole album. Go Whiskey Tears for me, mate.
That's cool.
That's it. Play Whiskey Tears. It's just a song, mate. We did change it up a bit. It was a different direction to us, and one of the last songs that we actually wrote on the album. So I suppose you could say we did put a bit of heart and soul into it, and that's where we sort of tried to find our voice as well, because we did not know how to sing, and we sort of do now, if you know what I mean. Sort of. And so Whiskey Tears, mate. If you play that, that's you've made my night.
That's a cool track because that's the one I was playing just before I jumped into this interview as well. That's funny you said that one. Okay, Fouldzy.
I'd probably. Well, it's a hard one because I do like this song. There's a song that I feel so far, I think we've got to get it out for a single. It's called Take Me to the Top. More of an easy go listening, sing along one. But I think I'd have to go Breakdown because Breakdown, it seems to be the one that, you know, all your mates love to, they come along, like, oh, I really like that one. They can sing along. They know it by the end of the show. Yeah, usually when we've got the people there at the show, they can pretty much pick it up by the second chorus and sing along with us. So, yeah, breakdown. There's not much to it. It's one of the first songs we ever wrote. So, you know, they're not the most technical songs, but sometimes
the solo's technical, mate. The solo's technical, and that's all right. Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair.
Awesome, guys. This has been an absolute blast to get to chat with you, man. Do you have any last words, shout outs, or thank yous you both like to add in there?
Yeah, I'd like to thank. Number one, I'd like to thank our other two boys, RJ and McKenz. They're absolute guns, mate. They stick by you. They're awesome. They your best mates you could ever have to be in a band, and no arguments, no nothing, mate. We get along like a house on fire, and every time we get up together, it's a party, mate. It's bloody awesome, you know. And another shout out too is Carly Jewell. She's an absolute gun, mate. Like she's in your corner. She's got your back. One of the most loyal people I know. So if there's anyone that yeah, I'd give a shout out to would be her, and also the Shotgun Mistress boys. They're top blokes as well.
Anyone else?
A track from there? No, I'm going to play a track with this too from them as well.
Well, I guess I better not do a shout out, but I'm going to shout out to everyone who's, while they can, in between lockdowns, it doesn't matter where you are in Australia, people who are getting out to gigs, supporting venues. We've got a lot of venues here in Melbourne really struggling. So people are supporting any way they can. They can get down there. They're trying, as soon as gigs open, they get down there. They're buying beers, buying everything they can, tickets. So yeah, everyone who's coming down and supporting the scene, shout out to you guys. And yeah, we've actually got it. We're working on and we've got a new single coming out next week. What do you do from Money Honey, an AC/DC cover? So shout out to us for trying to put that out, and we'll see how it gets received.
I'm sure it'll get received
Fouldzy,
really well.
Fouldzy, I want to do a shout out to you too, mate.
Appreciate it, mate. I need it,
mate.
Awesome, guys. Pav, Fouldzy, Right After Midnight. Everyone grab the album, put it in the stereos, turn it up really loud. Hopefully catch you guys over this way in South Australia when all this shit is over.
We'll be there.
Safe.
We'll be there.
Cheers for joining
We're
me.
there, mate. We're there in spirit right now, mate.
Killer, guys.
Appreciate it, mate.
Cheers,
Legend.
mate.
G'day. Before we get stuck into this great interview, if you all could hit the like and subscribe button, that would be bloody awesome, and it'd mean you all keep up to date with all the great interviews brought to you by myself, crank.com, and thatmetalstation.com, the only station with more metal than your Mars kettle. Cheers, guys.